So here it is. This is your final exam review, and hopefully this video won't take that long. But have a drink beside you, get all ready to go, and try to use the link at the bottom so then you can sort of fast forward to the sections or units that you want to go and see. So try not to sit through this entire video all in one sitting because it might be pretty long. Let's go. Let's get started. First unit, integers. So this one is all about just multiplying, subtracting, dividing integers. One key thing here is the negative numbers. So -4 times a +1, this is going to be -24. Oh, if you're watching this, you can download this review at the link below and then complete it first. You notice how I said that you want to organize your notes. You want to complete this before looking at this answer key or this video, because there is no point of just watching this without actually doing it first. Because if you watch me do it, it's really easy because I take you through all the steps until you actually sort of stumble and not know what to do. That's actually when you start learning, is when you stumble and then fix it up, fix your mistakes. So do this first before watching this. Okay, anyways, let's go. -12 divided by -4, this is going to be +3. So always look at your sign first instead of the number first. So negative divided by negative is a positive. This is going to be -88 because 88 is multiplied by a negative number. This is division, so this is going to be -8. Positive divided by negative is a negative. This is going to be +4. Hopefully I won't make any mistakes here. F is +35. G is, okay, this one is not multiply or division, so I'm going to write this in a step. So I notice that I see that this is +8, so I'm going to write +8. And I have negative and +4. That immediately tells me that I'm going to simplify those two signs into one. Negative and positive makes a negative. So +8 to a -4, this is +8. If you look at the number line, right, number line, let's do rough number line. 0, this is at all the negative side, all the positive side. If you start off with +8, you're somewhere here. -4, you're going backwards. So you're going backwards 4 times. Why do I even have +8 here? Oh, that's a mistake. It should be +4. That's the answer. H, -6, positive makes a +4. This gives me -2. Make sure you know how to differentiate between multiply, subtract, divide, and adding. I, +4, negative makes me a +1. This is +5. So far so good. +10, -2, +3. This is going to be, ooh, there's a lot of numbers. +8 plus 3. This is going to give me +11. Look at that. Not that bad. K has a bunch of things. So I'm going to simplify K by combining anytime I have two signs. So -3, it's by itself. So I'm going to say it's -3. Negative and a negative gives me a +2. And then I have a multiply plus 4 brackets. Okay, so far so good. This is going to require some bed math because I have an addition and a multiplication, right? So I need to multiply first. I need to do 2 times 4 first, which is +8, because positive and a positive makes a positive. And I still have this -3. -3 +8 gives me a +5. So far so good. L, I have a division, I have a positive. I'm going to combine my signs first. So this positive and negative gives me a -3. +4 divided by -1. So, oh, sorry, this should be like that. So right now I have a division and subtraction. I need to do division first. So 4 divided by -1. My sign positive and negative gives me a negative. And 4 divided by 1 is 4. And subtract 3, and that gives me -7. There we go. Scroll down. Answer with pictures or diagrams. So -6, I can say that negative is all these negatives. You can use these to help you for positive negative numbers. And +3, you're adding 3 positives. So these will cancel, cancel, cancel. That gives me 3 negatives. So answer is -3. If you don't believe me, if you like the other way, -3, positive is positive. So it's like that. Gives me -3. Simple. What question is shown by the array below? This one is going to be a subtraction question. So you're taking away negatives. So this one's a little bit tricky. You have positive, 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 and you're taking away negative signs. You're not taking away positive signs. So if you remember, if you're taking away, you actually negative sign and a negative will actually change into positive. So all these ones will actually become positives. So really what you're doing is adding another 5 to it. So this gives you an answer of positive 9. That's a little bit tricky one. For letter O, complete the word problem so it follows this question. You guys can have all sorts of different ones. When she left her house, Grace had $4 in her pocket. That's the $4. And then I guess we can say that she lost $2 or dropped $2 because of the negative sign. So this is lost. And then she found another $10. Whoa! Found another $10 because this is add, which gave her a total. This means total or equals to 12. So you can have various answers to that. So that's page 1. Simple integer stuff. What's the next one? Ascending order to smallest to largest. So when you are given decimals and fractions, it's always try to be a good idea to see which number has 1 and over. So if you look at this, this is 0.8, 0.8, 0.09. You know that this is going to be less than 1 because there's a 0 there, 0 here. 3 out of 5, that means if you have 5 pieces, you have, well, you have 1, 2, and 3. That's less than the whole. So that's less than 1. So I have, for this one, I have, this is greater than 1, and this is also greater than 1. So which one is bigger? We know that 1 over 3 is 1/3 of something. This is 0.33. So if we have 5/3, that means we have another third, which gives me like this, right? This gives me a total of 2/3, which gives me 0.66. Is 66 and a 1, this gives me a 1.66. That's less than 1.7, so I would say that 1.7 would be my biggest. 1.66 would be my next one. Which one would be the smallest one? Well, this is 0.8, this is 0.09. I would think 0.09 is the smallest one. And then the next one is 3 out of 5. So another way you can use this is just use your calculator. But I know that 3 out of 5 is smaller than 0.8. If you punch it in your calculator, 3 divided by 5 is 0.6. So that's smaller. Whoa, 0.6 is smaller than 0.8. Why did I put 0.5 there? That's it. Converting improper fractions. Improper fractions, remember mixed numbers. Mixed numbers have something like this. And improper has the numerator bigger than the denominator. So this is going to be 2 times 2 plus 1. So that's going to be 5 over 2. Denominator stays the same. 5 times 3 is 15 plus 4 is 19 over 5. Yes. And then the next one, 3 times 1 is 3 plus 2 is what? 5 over 3. Notice all my denominators stay exactly the same. No changes. And then this one is 5 times 10 is 50 plus 2 is 52 divided by 5. Done. That's it. Letter C, convert to mixed fraction. This one, converting to mixed fraction, is a little bit trickier. If you wanted to visualize this, you can draw this out. This fraction is out of 2, so I'm going to have out of 2. And I'm going to have 1 and 2 pieces. Wait a minute, I need 3 pieces, so then I need to draw another 1. So that's 3 pieces. So how many holes do I have? Well, this is all filled in, so I have 1 hole, and for this chocolate bar, I have 1 out of 2, so that's 1 and 1/2. If you were to convert this back to improper, 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3. That works. So let's try this one again. We have 7/4. So in the chocolate bar 4, I have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Well, I have 7 of them, so I need to draw another 4. So that's 5, 6, and 7. That means I have 1 whole piece, 1, and 3 out of 4. Bam. And then this one is going to be 1 and 1/8, and this one is going to be 2 and 2/5. I can always sort of divide 12 by 5, and 5 goes into 12 roughly 2 times for sure, and then 2 times 5 is 10, and that leaves me 2 left, which is 2 out of 5. So that's another way of looking at it. Name a fraction between 0.5 and 0.6. So basically 0.5 is 1/2 because 0.5 is like, yeah, 1/2. And for this one, 0.6, I don't really know what that is. I can say that it's 6 out of 10 because 6 out of 10 is 0.6. 6 divided by 10 is 0.6. And if I were to reduce this, I want this to compare to 2. So let's go divide that by 5. This one divided by 5, it's going to be a tricky one. It's like 1.25 or something like that. So I think a fraction between that would be about, let me see, maybe 5 over 10. Well, wait, that wouldn't even work because that would make 1/2. So it'll probably be something in between there. So 5.5 out of 10. But we can't really have decimal places. What number can we choose? How about we choose a bigger number? 5 or 50 out of 100 is 0.5. 60 out of 100 is 0.6. So in between here, I can have 55 out of 100, and we can always reduce this. I know that's kind of a little bit tricky, but it does take some sort of mind power to figure that out. So that's how you can do it. Change these into large fractions, like out of 100. Okay. Express these in fractions. Oh, so I just moved this 1 over, it'd be 2, and then since I moved it over once, it's 2 out of 10. I'm going to move this one 2 times, so it'd be 24. Since I moved it over 2 times, I'm going to have it out of 100. This is 1 block out of 6, so that's 1 out of 6. Express this in decimal. Just do this in a calculator if you can. Or, I mean, if you can do it without it, this 1 over 4 is 1/4, so that's 0.25. 31 out of 100, you're moving the decimal place left 2 times, so it would be 0.31. I know I'm going kind of quickly here because it is a pretty long video. I don't want to take too much time on each of these. This is 2 out of 5. Decimal place. If I were to see out of a percentage, 5 goes into 100 20 times. So because I do it to the bottom, I'm going to do that to the top, multiply by 20 at the top. This is 40, so my decimal place would be 0.4. Lots of numbers to play around with, but the best is make it out of 100 because whatever is out of 100, that's basically your decimal place. Page 3. Subtract these fractions. Whenever I'm subtracting fractions, I need common denominator. The numbers on the bottom are the same, so subtract the top. So for the subtract 2 is 2. Denominators stay the same, so 2 over 9. Adding, I need common denominators. Right now they're not, so to find this common denominator, I need to either multiply these two together or find the lowest common multiple. So multiplying them together, first way is 4 times 8 is 32. 8 times 4 is 32. How did 4 get into 8? I multiplied by, how did I get 4 to 32? Multiplied by 8. So this one has to be multiplied by 8, so which is 24. After the common denominators are found, I can just add the top. So this is 25 out of 32. Oh, there's a lot of stuff going on here. So, letter C. You can pause the video anytime just to get caught up. You don't have to keep pressing play and just let it run. You can always pause. That's the beauty of YouTube videos. See, for this one I have 2 signs. Always combine your signs into 1. So I'm still going to write this step 2 over 5. Negative, negative makes a positive. 1 over 10. Now I have 1 sign, so that's easy. Because this is adding fractions, I need common denominator. For the second part, well, for this one, I'm going to use the lowest common multiple. That means, is there a number 5 can go into that makes 10? Yeah. You multiply this by 5 by 2 to get to 10. So you have to do that to the top. So multiply the top by 2, which gives you 4. So now common denominator, 5 over 10, which is 1/2. Lots of questions about 2/3 of. This of means multiply. So basically the question is saying 2 over 3 times 6. Whenever you're multiplying, you just multiply across. So 2 times 6 is 12. There's an invisible 1. So 3 times 1 is 1. Easy. E, two brackets, nothing in between the brackets, that means multiply. So multiply fractions, multiply by cross. First, what sign are you going to get in your answer? Positive or negative? Well, there's a negative sign here, positive sign, so it'll be negative. 7 times 6, 42. 9 times 11, 99. There you go. For F, I have some mixed numbers. I'm going to first change these into improper. So 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3 over 2, divided by 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1, 5 over 2. Bam. Now, dividing fractions, I need to multiply by the reciprocal. That means I need to multiply and flip these. 2 over 5. Now, once I have done that, I just multiply across because you're multiplying fractions. 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 5 is 10. There you go. Using a diagram picture, solve for this. I'm just going to solve for this. It's going to be 3 over 12. That's your answer. Identify the mistake. Let's see. What would I do here? I'm going to multiply this first, no common denominator. So here's my steps. Negative 3 over 8. I keep the brackets. Since this is multiply, I'm doing bedmass. It should be positive 1 times 1 be 1 over 8, and then it'll be negative 2 over 8 because these are already the same. What did this person do? For some reason, went to find the common denominators for these two. But this is following bedmass. Multiply first, then add. So you have to do this first before you can do the other part. So that's the mistake. Wow, we're page 4 already. Rational numbers decimal. Decimals, you can use a calculator to calculate this, but if you're going to do it in a long adding or subtraction way, this is what you do. Minus 5.8 plus 3.2. This is just like adding or subtracting integers. And in this case, we can basically subtract the numbers. This is going to be 6, and then this is 5, subtract 3 is 2. Since the negative sign is with the bigger number, 5.8 is bigger than 3.2, the answer is going to be negative 2.6. Okay? And here it's negative 12.04, negative 0.96. Whew. Negative and negative, this will give me negative 12.04. Can I do my mental math? Negative 13. There you go. Positive 7.4 plus 3.4. Add them, 10.8. Look at that. Oh, multiply. So I need to multiply this. So negative times a positive is a negative. I know my answer is going to be negative. 4 times 2.6. So do this again. 2.6 times 4. 4 times 6 is 24. 2 times 4 is 8, 9, 10, 10. I have one decimal place, so I have one decimal. So the answer is negative 10.4. 0.7, well, that looks like 6.7 times 8.5. 35, 650, 2 decimal 595, 2 decimal places, 5.95. Pretty good. 6.3, this is going to be what? Negative 9, maybe? No, 0.9, I think. This one, I can't do this in my head for some reason. So I'm going to punch this in the calculator. Oh yeah, I actually got it right. 0.9, look at that. Add all this stuff up. Don't forget bedmass. I'm going to do this first and then do that and then finally add that. So negative 0.8, that's going to be my last thing. 1.2 divided by 0.3. It's going to be negative because positive and a negative will make me a negative. This is going to be 0.4 times 1.5. Got to do this first. Next. 0.4 times 1.5 is what? 0.6, I think. 1.5 times 0.4. That's right. So this is going to be negative 0.6, negative 0.8 gives me negative 1.4. Answer. Lastly, H. 0.9 times 14.8. I'm going to just quickly punch this in the calculator. Times 0.9. This is going to be negative 13.32. Subtract 3.1. I'm just going to punch this in. Answer is going to be, whoa, my bad. It should be negative 16.42. Negative and negative, think about the number line. Negative 13.32 is already pretty far on the negative side. Negative, negative, negative. Okay, this is exhausting here. To pay for skiing holidays in Whistler, Felix borrowed 1450.50 from his parents. He pays back each week. How many weeks will it be till no longer in debt? So he borrowed 1450.50. He pays back each week. So basically, you're just dividing like this. So what's 1450.5 divided by 30? Because you need to find out the number of weeks, and the answer is 47.17 weeks. So roughly, he needs to have 47 weeks and a little bit before he pays off his debt. Okay, this one's a division one because you have to total. This is per week, so how many weeks you need to divide that. J, Keith earned this much babysitting, this much, he spent that much and that much. So 45.50 and 22.25. This is what he made, 57.76. That's what he earned. And then he subtracted 15.77, subtract another 33.10. How much money did he still have? So I'm just going to, for fastness, punch this all into my calculator. Hopefully you guys work this out as well. $18.88 is what he has left. Okay, so that's it. What's next? Square roots. Square roots is basically, this is what a square is. If you have a grid, you have 2 here, 2 here. How many squares do you have in total? 4. There's 4 in total. That means 2 square is 4. Or if you have 3, 1, 2, 3 columns, then 3 rows. You have 3 boxes on this side, 3 boxes on this side. How many boxes in total in your area? 9. That means 3 square, because this is a square, is 9. So the square root is basically going backwards. In this number, if your area is 4, what are the 2 numbers you multiply to each other will give you 4? Well, 2 times 2 is 4. The square root of 9 will be asking you what 2 numbers multiplied to each other will give you 9. And because these are square roots, it's the opposite of squares, the numbers are exactly the same. It has to be exactly the same because it's a square. The sides are exactly the same. Okay, so if you think about the square root of 16, that means I'm trying to find this side multiplied by this side will give you 16. And if I were to draw this out, 4 is the answer, because if I were to have 4 on this side, 4 on this side, 4 times 4 is 16. And look, 16 squares. So you can do this and punch this in a calculator if you want. It's that little, well, let me draw it. It's this little thing. That's the square root sign. So punch it in, and you can notice that this one is going to be 1. This one is going to be 1, because if you have fractions, you take in the square root of the top and bottom. Square root of 36 is 6. Square root of 4 is 2. That works. I think this is 49, so this one works too. So it would be 7 over 2. Ooh, I think I need a breather. This one is not going to be 1. Wait a minute. Maybe it is. 64 over 9. Yeah, this one is a square root. This one works. This one works. This one works. This one doesn't work because the square root of 35. What is the square root of 35? Let's see. It's 5.9, so that doesn't work. So if you're unsure, check it out in your calculator. Find unknown measurements. So you basically have to find the sides. Basically, you're finding the square root because all the sides are all the shapes are squares. So take the square root of 121 will give you 11, because that means 11 times 11 will give you 121. 6.4 is on this side. 6.4 has to be on this side because it's a square. So what's the area, or when you go 6.4 times 6.4, it is 40.96. And for this one, you have the area, but you need to know the sides. So then the square root of 9 is 3. There you go. And then the next one is going to be, let's see, almost done. Square root of 100 is 10. 10 times 10 is 100. 0.49, this is going to be 0.7. 0.7 times 0.7 is 0.49. And square root of 676, I do not know what that is. Let me see. 6.76 square root. It's 2.6. So punch this in your calculator to get that. And square root of 1 is 1, because 1 times 1 will get you back into 1. You want to build a fence in a dog pen. So you want to build this fence. It costs 40 meter per meter of fence. So you basically 1 meter costs you $40. How much would it cost to build a square pen with an area of this? So basically you know the area. Now you need to figure out how much it is to build this fence all around the playpen. So in order to do this, you have to figure out the sides. So we have the area. To get the side, we need to find the square root. So square root of 144 is 12. 12 times 12 is 144. So one side is 12, this side is 12 because this is going to be a square. 12 and 12. So then now how much is the cost? Well, in order to calculate the total cost, I need to know the total perimeter around this area. All the fence required to build this. So 4 times 12 is 48. That's the number of meters around this. And then since for 1 meter it costs $40, so I multiply by that. So 48 times 40 is, wow, it's expensive to build this. $1,920 to build that fence for that dog. So there you go. That's a good practical question. All right, so that's the first unit of rational numbers. I'm going to stop it here and try to work on Unit 2. Double check your answers for Unit 1. Hopefully that helped a little bit, even though I was going a little bit too fast. But see you later.